All right, just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. I've done this 4 times today with people. That's how many classes I've done. So I'm well inside. So if you are sitting, at a desk and your feet are down, this is a good opportunity to have your legs in a sort of a parallel position, about a hip's width apart. And for those of you who do have that, you can really feel the weight of your feet in the floor, really get a sense of the contact with the earth. And you'll feel the heels, the side of the foot, the outside of the foot. And then your big toe mound, little toe mound, and all your little toe pads. Just get a sense of that. And then move up. You'll feel your sits bones in the chair, your shoulders align with the hips. You can have your hands just kind of resting comfortably in your lap. Traditionally we would have the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. But, if that's not really available to you, maybe your wrist issues, thumb issues, or even, shoulders or something, you can just place your hands comfortably, but also trying not to block any energy by having your wrists, this is going to block energy. So you want everything kind of flowing nicely. Blood, chi, lymph. So your shoulders are aligned with the hips and the ears align with the shoulders as best you can. And then bring your attention to the crown of the head. And just maybe you feel some sensation there. Maybe a little tingling or something. If not, don't worry. And just relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes and the nose and the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the tongue, and the back of the head, the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs, and hands and fingers and feet and toes. And then just bring the mind back to the breath. Noticing the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. Then be aware of any sounds that are around. So for those of you who have pets in your home, you'll hear them get up and move or make sound. Maybe you have, most people have somebody else in the house as well. You might hear them moving around. Or maybe you're in your own little studio and you just hear the fridge or some birds or something outside. Whatever you're hearing, just allow that sound to be there. So one thing I find really kind of quite sweet, and maybe in some cases a little bit useful, in this particular tradition, they talk about all sound being mantra. So if by any chance you have a sound that's just you can hear, you can practice. You could hear the fan humming or the fridge humming or people talking. Maybe you can imagine it's Om Mani Padme Hum. or even the Vajrasattva mantra, although it's quite long. Anyway, just allow the sounds to be there, trying not to follow them with the mind. And then bring the mind and your attention, your awareness to your mind, your thoughts. And we're not really trying to get rid of our thoughts here. We're just being aware of what's there and then maybe not engaging so much with them. So try not to criticize yourself. Just be objective about what it is that you're seeing. And then bring to mind these people of your life. You can start with the ones you love. See their face. Remember their smile and their laugh. Their eyes. And then there's those people you don't like terribly much, or you have aversion for, you want to push them away. And then there's those strangers who we don't care about super much. I mean, we run into them, we wave, we're friendly, but if they died tomorrow, we'd be, that's really sad, but we wouldn't be having a nervous breakdown about it, or we wouldn't be grieving. But interestingly, this friend, this enemy, this stranger, they can all change place at any time. They were all equal in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for an enlightened mind. So we think, this purification practice, we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, and equally we can change that by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering, so we, logically it makes sense. So we want to pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and the first little section in reliance is refuge. So we're relying upon this particular Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see really as a doctor rather than some kind of higher power, who has these methods we can use to purify. Now, it's not we're not needing Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot, and his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents this indestructibility of compassion. They're being crossed represents the union of them. infinite. And this symbolizes enlightenment. So infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then the second little section in reliance is compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you, and make the strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And so now we come to this power of remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living beings with your body in this life and in all future lives. So it keeps, it forces out this light that comes, the nectar that comes from Vajrasattva, forces out of your body all the harm that you've done and pushes it all out in the lower orifices as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Sutukaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next we purify our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time it forces up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech, and that includes yourself. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's, but it fills it suddenly. So, you walk into a room and you flick on the switch and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment that that the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and grudges and ill will and bitterness and jealousy and depression, anxiety and worry and all of these things instantly dispelled. Just imagine this as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So imagine now all your delusions, which are the source of all of our suffering, really, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. And imagine they're completely purified, they're gone, and think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is this purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva very happily sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from our minds. Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So now feel that you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one. This is this determination or this decision we make to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without making any kind of decision, we're never going to do anything. So this determination, this aspiration to not harm, it becomes like guardrails. It's like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in a different direction from our habit energies. So, first of all, rejoice in your efforts coming here, and then think, and for some of you, it's really late. I know that. So extra rejoicing for you guys who really want to just be in bed. And then think of something you'd like to work on. Maybe it's your speech, maybe it's negative self-talk, and give yourself a little timeline. Maybe it's 5 seconds, 5 minutes, just to think about that. And then think Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And so next, just a wee bit about emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, even if it's just the word that you've heard, just place your mind there for a moment. We think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. They're all just a bunch of dependent arisings. And you can also think that the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. And we know, just on an ordinary practical level, we know that because the way a dog's brain or a cat's brain is configured is totally different to ours. And they perceive the world slightly differently than we do. So it's all, in a way, it's very dependent on the apparatus we have of this body, our culture, our education, our language even. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created by doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then we just strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long. And then let's just do some Manjushri swift for Lama Zopa, swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. The scorching brightness from the Vajra sun, with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion for the passionless and others, with multicolored rays that brightly blaze. The perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, retaining for all beings the Buddha's Dharma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated sun, the knowledge treasurer for the omniscient, the sovereign kin controlling all illusions, the foremost master of the Buddha's spells, called Vajra Tiksna, sword supremely mighty, completely pure, the highest syllable. And then sort of we think about all of our other teachers that we know, all of our precious teachers, and just make a strong wish for them to live long. And Kay, I love this disco ball you've got going above your head there. It's very pretty. Nice to see you again. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Sleep well. You can crawl into bed now, you East Coast people. And for the rest of us, we can also crawl into bed as well. Oh, the Central Time people as well. And I think I'm ready to go to bed now too. All right. Take care, everybody. Lots of love. Thank you for hosting, Bill. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Okay. Thanks. Bye, everyone.